Traders in the building, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, I'm so glad that you've discovered me, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for the continued support and love. You already know what time it is, man. It's the time of the week where I do the weekly analysis, and today I'll be doing the dollar index, gold, US30 and US100. And I'll start with the dollar index since it's the first on the watch list, and from the get-go you can see that I'm bullish on this particular market. And to explain why, it's simply because we are in a bullish trend. You notice because we keep making higher lows, obviously, and higher highs over here. Another reason is we are currently above an area of sensitivity. We are currently above a support. You notice over here there was a resistance before for some time over there, and then we did break eventually, but ever since we got there we haven't really got enough momentum to break below this area over here. However, though we are currently anticipating that this market is bullish, if you go in a smaller time frame you will notice that there is a range over there. If you do notice over there, there is a range which last week I got caught up on. I was anticipating that the market was going to break, but unfortunately I ended up losing last week in the markets. So if you go to a daily time frame, obviously you do see over here that this market hasn't really been moving anyhow. It's just been moving sideways. It keeps going up, down, up, down, up and down. So this is a range. It shouldn't be perfect every time, but it is a range. So what happened last week is that I was anticipating the market was somewhere over here at the top, and I did think that maybe the market was gonna break, obviously, because it was coming up bullish like that. But guess what happened last week? Then the market retraced over there. It gave us those bearish candlesticks over there, coming to this low, and then from that low, then that's where we saw those buys. But then it happens when in the market. So even now I might be anticipating buys in this market, and it could just repeat the same thing. It could just come back down and find another support and buy from there until we can break this low over here. Assuming that the market could push and break this low, then I am not yet looking for sells. I'm only looking for sells if the market could break, like if it can do like this retest, then I can say okay, maybe this market is bearish. But for now, this is a bullish market, though it might be ranging at the moment, but this is a bullish market. Yours is to just spot price and try to follow price and adjust with the market conditions at that time, right? That's all I have for the dollar index, man. There's nothing more, there's nothing less. However, if you would like to trade this market, I do think again it might end up breaking this resistance over here, and if it does break that resistance, it's easy. Yours is to wait a retest on the on that particular resistance, which will then make it a support, and then from there we can buy this market hopefully to that high over there. That's all, man, I have for the dollar index. Let's go ahead and go on gold. And this particular market I'm bearish, though again, man, last week I got caught up many times. So now the reason why I say I'm bearish on this particular market, for those who may probably bumping to the video for the first time or the channel for the first time, it's simple. I'm bearish because if you notice over here, we do have a level of sensitivity, a very strong one. This is a resistance. You notice how price rejected over here, and now currently we are getting those rejections again. Another reason is you notice over here we do have a resisting trend line over here. This is a resisting trend line. You notice it clear as day. Obviously you see that there's the first touch, second touch, and had you sold on the third touch, you would have seen that drop. And again on the fourth touch, I'm anticipating that the same thing like it did in the past is gonna happen, because it likes to, every time it likes to drop. So I'm anticipating the same thing. It can drop at least until this supporting trend line over here, or at least until this area over here. But I did take losses last week because the market was buying, and I'll show you why. I was anticipating a sale, and I think it's been 2 weeks in a row now that the market is buying, because last week it gave us those buys, and last week it continued those buys, and I was trying to sell the market, and unfortunately I ended up losing. So I was trying to sell the market right at this area over here, because I do recognize this area as an area of strong support, right? And so if it is a strong area of support, you see how when we broke it over here, we came for retest and we sold, and we were trading below it. We did break above, obviously we respected that one, came below. So my anticipation was that okay, maybe price is just going to come over here and respect immediately and drop from that area on. And I'll post a screenshot over here, and man, I ended up losing that market. But as you can see now, man, it does seem like it is still a valid area of sales, because you see that the market didn't close necessarily above. We did have an NFP coming in, but we couldn't honestly close above. It just gave us that strong week on Friday. So you can expect that this market maybe next week it might actually end up completing that setup and drop. Or if it ever happens that, because now this market has been bullish for the past 2 weeks, if it ever happens that it breaks above, let's not fight the market, man. Let's follow price and buy with it on the retest. And until then, if we reach this high, then again we can expect those sells, man. That's all I have for gold. There's nothing more, there's nothing less. Let's go ahead and go on US30. This again, I am bullish, and I know last last week I was bearish on this particular market, but let's go to a higher time frame. If you go to the monthly, let me do like this. The reason why I've been bullish in this particular market was this. This was the resistance. Obviously, price broke that resistance, came, and when we came for a retest, without hesitation, then the market pushed very, very bullish from that support over there. And my theory is that if price comes from a support, obviously, it's most likely going to go and respect structure again, reject or respect at a resistance. Same way, if it drops from a resistance, it's most likely going to go and respect at a support. There's no way that price can just go randomly. Otherwise, we wouldn't know how to trade it. Hence the patterns. Hence we are able to spot double tops, double bottoms, because price usually does what it did in the past. So I was expecting that this market was gonna go at least up to until that resistance. Then from that resistance, I was gonna anticipate maybe sells or continuation to the upside. But guess what, man? The market then last week, not last week, 2 weeks back, I think, it then retraced and it was bearish. Let me show you on a smaller time frame. The market obviously from there, and then it came bearish all the way, and then came to this support over here. And from this support, I was anticipating, okay, the market is gonna buy. But then again, last week the market, it then broke below, and then when it broke below, to me it then suggested that, okay, this market is clearly bearish. I should just wait for the retest on that area on and probably take sells, because you notice over here this was a clean resistance, an area of rejection over there. If you notice, I mean, if you go all the way back, this has been an area of sensitivity. Every time price is below, it sells. So I was anticipating the same thing, that the market was just gonna give us a retest, and then we can expect continuation to the downside. But guess what? I was wrong, man, because the market then ended up coming back up to that upside area, and then now my anticipation is that we can expect a retest of this area over here, and then we can take those buys. Remember, if you want to buy a market, you want to buy it low, and if you want to sell it, you want to sell it high. So if you are going to buy over here, then the market comes all the way down to get enough momentum to push upside, you would have at least lost a lot of money, if not blown your account. So it's very important to wait. We are bullish on this market, so let's wait and see what ends up happening in the market. That's all I have, man, for US30. Go to US100, and I'm closing with this one. I'm bullish again on this particular market. Let's go to a higher time frame so I can show you why I am bullish in this market. So the same thing, almost similar to US30. I was anticipating that this market, because it comes from this support, it was going to go and respect or rejected that resistance, but we did see that the market was failing, giving us that bearish candlestick. It was a fell candlestick, that's what they call it. So we still can expect that this market, because I mean, obviously, if it gives us this bearish candlestick, it does mean that maybe there is potentially something over here that the market is trying to signal already, that okay, we are about to reject from that area on. So now my anticipation is that, okay, because price is seemingly trying to be bullish again, we can expect to buy over these areas over here. Let me go and show you guys. So last week I was anticipating that the market was either going to come to this area over here and sell from there, or it was going to break this support over here, retest and sell from there. But then what ended up happening is that the market then ended up pushing upwards, breaking this last high we had over here, which now I'm expecting that, okay, it can come over for a retest, and then on the retest, that's where you can take those buys and try to hopefully push it to the upside, man. But that's all I have for the week that is coming. I'm looking for buys on US30 and US100, and I'm looking for sells on gold. I'm looking for buys on the dollar index. If you see something else different, you are allowed to. I mean, the market can do anything. As you saw, I lost last week, and yeah, man, it happens. Sometimes you win some, you lose some, but the most important thing is to know how much you're risking per trade, so that whenever you lose, you don't lose big, and whenever you win big. But that's all I have for the week that is coming. Let's just see what ends up happening. I love you guys. Thank you for the continued love and support. See you next week, same time, same place. Let's go.